My name is Harmony Edosomwan. I use she, they pronouns. I am the owner of Harmony's Kitchen, LLC, as well as an activist and an author. The facts that resonate with me the most is definitely the fact about the renting. I am definitely someone that I dream of owning my own home one day in Vermont. However, I'm currently renting. And the way that, the market is, the fact I just learned that, 16% of, was it Black or BIPOC are denied mortgages. That kind of makes my chances even more slim. So it's a bit grim to think about. But I definitely resonate with that. And then also the fact that there are so few BIPOC owned businesses in Vermont compared to that of white businesses. I didn't know how little, you can kind of guesstimate, but seeing the numbers right in front of me was definitely wow, this has to change for sure. There was another fact that kind of stated that, women in general are paid 82 cents to the dollar compared to men. And even more specific, that Black women are paid 63 cents to the dollar compared to men. And so as someone who is trying to build generational wealth for my family and my future generations, I knew that working within or working under someone would not get me there. And so that's why I decided to start my own business, because I wanted to be able to, be able to actually build up something that, I can pass on to my future generations or build up the generational wealth that's needed that, with the wages that they're paying folks, especially Black women and Indigenous women, we wouldn't be able to see that. And, that kind of ties into, kind of all the other facts, considering that Black women and Indigenous women, we make less than our white counterparts. That means that, we don't have that wealth that is needed to, say, put down a down payment on a house. It's because, historically, we've been paid less. Historically, we've been set back, many steps compared to our white counterparts. Just seeing these facts, I grew up in a house. My mom owns her own home. It's something that I want for myself, but considering the facts that, Black folks are denied more to get mortgages, it kind of makes me sad because it's a dream of mine to own a home. And it kind of makes me feel like I won't be able to do that. But I'm hoping that with my business, Harmony's Kitchen, I'll be able to, generate the wealth and generate the generational wealth that is needed to, actually put down a good down payment on my home. So I kind of try to escape the racism that happens when it comes to paying wages to Black workers by opening up my own business. But, not everyone has, considering how few BIPOC businesses there are here, to start a business, you need a standing on that. And I think my other streams of income that have allowed me to actually start my business, but not everyone has that. So if you're paying folks less, specifically Black folks less, then that means they don't have the startup money that is needed to, open up businesses. And that's why we're seeing so few BIPOC businesses compared to white businesses, because we don't have that startup money. What keeps me going is the hope that I'll be able to, set something up for my future generations, the hope that I'll be able to establish a cultural staple here in Vermont. Because what I envision for Harmony's Kitchen right now, I'm doing it out of my home, but I hope to one day have a restaurant, a soul food restaurant, that is a place that Black folks can feel like, this is something that's for us, by us, a place that we can come to eat food that, we grew up eating. And also a place that, all Vermonters and all folks, because I imagine I want my Harmony's Kitchen, I want everyone from all over to be able to come. And I want this to be a place that, folks are able to encounter Black culture. And so that's what keeps me going. The retention rates of Black folks in this state, it's not good. Getting Black folks to our state isn't an issue, but keeping Black folks here is the issue. And I feel like one of the main reasons why, that is the case is because there aren't the wages, all the other factors, but there aren't, I guess one aspect of that is that there aren't any cultural staples here that is lasting and that is here, for Black folks. And whenever we get something that is good, it leaves because of the conditions at which Black folks are, facing in this state. And so I hope that Harmony's Kitchen could be a spot where folks can, one, encounter Black culture, but a place where Black folks can, actually have something that they can say like, hey, this is my home here in Vermont. This is, this is for us. And that's what keeps me going, essentially, for sure. A lot of the times folks are, when they think of like, the lack of Black businesses or the lack of something in the state pertaining to BIPOC folks, it's not because there aren't BIPOC folks here. It's because of the systemic ways in which BIPOC folks are disenfranchised, thus leading us to not have the things here. The demographic said that there's over, the chart said that there's over 72,000 businesses here in Vermont, and less than 3,000 of those are BIPOC. As I mentioned before, folks, we need that startup money, considering that we are paid less already, considering that we don't have the generational wealth that was built on our backs by white folks. It is necessary that, the state takes this into account and puts their money where their mouths are by funding Black businesses, by funding BIPOC businesses here. So I want people to take away that, there is a few number of BIPOC businesses because of the disenfranchisement that this country has placed on BIPOC folks. And therefore, the state of Vermont needs to do something about that. And I think that's by creating funds that's specifically set up for startup BIPOC businesses, and also for the retention rates of BIPOC businesses here as well. Yeah, so I hope people can take that away. I hope people can take away that, there are aspiring restaurateurs here, there are aspiring entrepreneurs here that are of color, like myself, who see Vermont as now my home and who want to stay in Vermont. But if Vermont isn't allowing or giving folks opportunities like myself to thrive here, then we're going to take our talents elsewhere. And so in order to keep the talented folks that, that makes this place the colorful place that it is, we need to start doing some things about that. I run Harmony's Kitchen, which is a soul food catering and takeout business. I eventually, hoping within the next 3 years, can have my own brick and mortar restaurant. And so I'm looking to make that happen. And I hope that you can support my business and all my other things that I'm doing. And yeah.